The scream echoed through the empty auditorium like a gunshot, shattering the quiet hum of the after-school rehearsal. Alex Rivera froze mid-step on stage, his campaign speech notes clutched in his sweating palm, heart slamming against his ribs as if it might burst free. Behind him, the massive screen flickered to life unbidden, projecting not his polished vision for the senior class, but a grainy video of him kissing another boy in the dim light of last summer's beach bonfire, the waves crashing like accusations in the background. Alex's world tilted. The auditorium doors burst open, and a cluster of students poured in, phones already out, whispers turning to gasps as the video looped endlessly. He stumbled back, the microphone screeching feedback that drowned out his name being chanted, not in support, but in mockery. "Freak," someone yelled from the shadows. His best friend, Miah, shoved through the crowd, her face pale as she grabbed his arm. "Alex, it's everywhere. The whole school's seen it." But it was the figure slipping out the side exit, tall, broad-shouldered, with that familiar red Letterman jacket, that twisted the knife deepest. Jordan Hale, the straight, a golden boy who'd promised to have his back, vanishing like smoke. That night, Alex didn't sleep. Curled on his bed in their cramped Queens apartment, the city lights flickering through the blinds like judgmental eyes, he replayed the sabotage in his mind. He'd worked for months on this campaign. Posters plastered across Roosevelt High's hallways, rallies in the quad promising inclusivity and real change for the LGBTQ club he'd co-founded. As the openly gay son of Mexican immigrants, he'd poured his soul into proving he belonged, not just tolerated, but celebrated. And now, reduced to a punchline, a scandal timed perfectly for the election assembly tomorrow. His phone buzzed relentlessly, texts from strangers calling him slurs, from teachers urging discretion, from his mom, Rosa, who worked double shifts at the diner and had cried on the phone earlier, whispering, "Mijo, we fight this together, but be careful." Only one message cut through the noise, from an unknown number. "I know who did this. Meet me at the old pier, midnight. Come alone." Alex stared at it, thumb hovering. Trust a ghost? Or let the video bury him alive? By 11:45, he was slipping out the fire escape, hoodie up against the November chill, the subway rattling him toward Coney Island like a coffin nail. The pier creaked under his sneakers, waves slapping the pilings below in rhythmic warning. Fog rolled in from the Atlantic, blurring the distant cyclone roller coaster's silhouette. "Who's there?" Alex called, voice steadier than he felt. A shadow detached from a rusted bench, slender, with a hood pulled low. "It's me," a soft voice said, pulling back the fabric to reveal wide hazel eyes and a scattering of freckles. Ethan Cole, the quiet artist from art class, the one who'd sketched Alex's portrait for the school paper without asking, capturing not just his face, but the fire in his eyes. I hacked the AV system. Traced the upload." Alex's pulse raced, not from fear now, but something sharper, like recognition. Ethan had always been on the edges, trans non-binary, they slashed them, with a sketchbook full of raw, unapologetic queer portraits that hung in the school's forgotten corner gallery. Rumors swirled about them, troubled home life, a dad who disowned them after coming out. "Why help me?" Alex demanded, stepping closer despite the instinct screaming trap. Ethan's gaze dropped to the phone in Alex's hand. "Because that video? It's not just yours. It's mine too. They used my edit from last year's film project, twisted it with deepfake audio. And the IP trace. It leads to Jordan." The name hit like a slap. Jordan Hale, Alex's reluctant campaign manager, the charming jock who'd volunteered after Alex's rally speech, went viral in the school group chat. They'd bonded over late-night strategy sessions in the library, Jordan's easy laugh masking his own cracks, divorced parents, pressure to be the perfect son. Alex had even started to hope, stupidly, that those lingering glances meant something more. "He wouldn't," Alex whispered, but the doubt gnawed. Ethan pulled out their laptop, the screen glowing with code and timestamps. "He did. But wait, there's more." The original file was sent from a burner email, but the metadata? It's timestamped from his house. And there's a reply chain. To someone else. They sat on the bench, shoulders brushing in the cold, as Ethan decoded the trail. Minutes stretched into an hour, the fog thickening like secrets. Alex felt the weight lift fractionally, not gone, but shared. Ethan's fingers flew over keys, their voice steadying as they explained. Jordan had access to the AV booth from Drama Club, and the video's watermark matched a clip Ethan had shared in a group project. But the deeper dive revealed a ghost account, Patriot Watch, spewing anti-LGBTQ rants in anonymous forums. Jordan's not the mastermind, Ethan said finally, closing the laptop. He's a pawn. Someone's pulling strings, someone who knew your campaign would shake things up. As the first gray light of dawn crept over the horizon, Alex turned to Ethan, the peers suddenly feeling less like a trap and more like a threshold. Why risk this for me? You could have stayed hidden. Ethan's lips quirked in a half-smile, vulnerable and fierce. Because hiding's what they want. And you're the first person who saw me, really saw me, without pity. That portrait you hung in the hall, it said I mattered. Alex's throat tightened. In the chaos of posters and polls, he'd forgotten the quiet power of that gesture, framing Ethan's self-portrait amid his own campaign art, a silent alliance. Now, here, with the city waking behind them, that alliance felt like the spark of something unbreakable. They parted with a plan: confront Jordan at school, gather proof, expose the real threat before the assembly. But as Alex rode the subway home, exhaustion crashing over him, a new text buzzed. From Jordan. We need to talk. It's not what you think. Attached was a photo, not incriminating, but heartbreaking. A screenshot of Jordan's phone, showing the ghost account's message. Leak it, or your dad's job is next. Alex's blood ran cold. Blackmail. Layers upon layers. And in the background of the photo, a familiar detail. The Hale family crests on the wall. But wait. No, something off. A reflection in the screen, a shadow that didn't match. By the time Alex crashed into bed, the hook had set deeper. Sabotage wasn't just personal, it was a web, and he was tangled in the center. Little did he know, the real enemy wore a face he'd trusted more than Jordan's, his own cousin, Victor, back from college with grudges and agendas that ran deeper than family blood. The school buzzed like a hornet's nest by first period, whispers chasing Alex down the linoleum halls like predators. He kept his head high, backpack slung over one shoulder, ignoring the sidelong stares and the cluster of jocks snickering by the lockers. Miah fell into step beside him, her dark braids swinging, eyes fierce with that protective fire she'd honed since they met in freshman English. Ignore the idiots, she muttered, linking her arm through his. We've got your back. The club's rallying, petitions circulating, counterposts going up on Insta. As the school's resident lesbian firebrand and vice president of the debate team, Miah turned outrage into action like breathing. But Alex's mind was elsewhere, replaying the peers' revelations. Ethan had vanished into the morning crowd after a quick fist bump, promising encrypted files by lunch. Trust was a fragile thing, rebuilt plank by plank, and Alex clung to it amid the storm. In homeroom, Mr. Patel, the history teacher who'd mentored the LGBTQ club since its shaky inception, pulled him aside. Son, the principal's calling an emergency meeting. Video's been flagged as harassment, but election's on hold until cleared. Alex nodded, jaw tight. Cleared? As if his life was a glitch to debug. The meeting room smelled of stale coffee and bureaucracy, Principal Hargrove's office a fortress of plaques and filing cabinets. She was mid-40s, sharp-suited, with a rainbow pin on her lapel that felt more performative than proud. Jordan was already there, slouched in a chair, his usual cocky grin replaced by hollow cheeks and shadowed eyes. Alex, he started, standing too quickly. I swear, but Hargrove cut him off, gesturing to the seats. Boys, this is delicate. The video's impact is significant. We've got complaints from parents. The board's breathing down my neck. Alex sat, forcing calm into his voice. It's sabotage, ma'am. Deepfake elements, traced upload. He slid the printout Ethan had texted, a redacted log showing the AV breach. Jordan's eyes widened, flicking to the paper like it burned. I didn't. Hargrove scanned it, brows furrowing. This implicates you, Jordan. Drama Club access. Timestamps match your schedule. Jordan's face crumpled, hands raking through his hair. It's not me. Look, my dad's on the school board. He's been pushing this traditional values crap since the election started. He found out I was helping Alex. and he flipped. Said if I didn't back off, he'd cut me off. Then this ghost account started DMing me, threatening to expose my little brother's medical stuff if I didn't plant the file. The room spun for Alex. Blackmail on blackmail. Jordan's family secrets weaponized. His little brother Eli's epilepsy records twisted into leverage. Hargrove leaned forward, voice softening. Why you, Jordan? Why not come to me? He swallowed hard, glancing at Alex with raw apology. Pride. And fear. Alex, you're out there, owning it. Makes me feel like a coward. I thought I could handle it alone. The admission hung heavy, a bridge cracking under trust's weight. Alex wanted to rage, to shove him away, but the pain in Jordan's eyes mirrored his own. Two boys caught in adults' wars. Outside, in the hall's fluorescent glare, Alex cornered him. You let them use me to save yourself? Jordan winced, backing against the lockers. At first, yeah. God, I'm sorry. But I screenshotted everything. The threats, the demands. Sent it to you last night, remember? That's why I needed to talk. Alex pulled out his phone, the photo loading. Jordan's trembling thumb on the ghost account's message. Leak the fag's vid or Eli's docs go public. But now, zooming in, Alex's gut twisted. The wallpaper behind. Not the Hales crests, but a faded Yankees poster, the one from his own living room. Wait. No. Victor's dorm room, from family visits. The shadow in the reflection, a slim hand with a silver ring, the one Victor wore since their abuela's funeral. Jordan, Alex breathed. This wasn't your dad. It's... A bell rang, drowning him out, students flooding the corridor like a tide. Jordan gripped his arm. What? Alex, tell me. But Miah appeared, dragging Alex toward calculus. Later, he promised, mind reeling. Victor Ruiz, his cousin, 22 and home from NYU for family time. All smiles and backslaps at Thanksgiving. Victor, who'd grilled him endlessly about staying straight in high school, masking homophobia with concern. Victor, whose poli-sci major hit an internship with a conservative think tank, the kind that funded Patriot Watch slush funds. Lunch was a battlefield. The cafeteria thrummed with speculation, trays clattering like judgments. Alex found Ethan in their usual corner booth, sketchbook open to a frantic wireframe of the ghost accounts network. You were right, Alex said, sliding in beside them, close enough to catch the faint scent of charcoal pencils and sea salt from the pier. Jordan's clean, mostly. But the puppet master? My cousin Victor. The photo's metadata pings his IP. Ethan's pencil stilled, their expression shifting from analyst to ally, soft and searching. Family? That's brutal. You okay? The question undid him, simple words cracking the dam. Alex's voice broke. He hates what I am. Always has. It's not just sabotage, it's erasure. Ethan's hand covered his, brief but electric, grounding. Then we unerase it. Together. I've got a backdoor into Patriot Watch's server, pulled threads last night. Victor's not alone. There's a faculty advisor, Mr. Langford from Civics, funneling tips. Alex's fork paused midair, the revelation landing like ice water. Mr. Langford, the coach who praised real men in class, who'd jokingly outed a student last year. The web tightened, family betrayal laced with institutional rot. As they plotted, Ethan's code weaving digital snares, Alex drafting a speech that flipped victimhood into victory. A shadow fell over the table. Victor himself, all lean muscle and designer jacket, grinning like he owned the room. Cuz, heard about your little drama. Need a lawyer? Uncle Manny's got connections. His eyes flicked to Ethan, appraising, dismissive. Alex forced a smile, heart pounding. All good, Vic. Just clearing the air. Victor lingered, charm laced with steel. Don't let it derail you. Family first, right? He sauntered off, but not before Alex caught the glint of that ring, the tell. The rest of the day blurred. Classes endured, flyers reprinted with bold, resist stamps from the club. By dismissal, the petition had 200 signatures, Mia's megaphone rallying stragglers in the parking lot. But as Alex walked home, phone in hand, a new text from the ghost account. Back off, or the whole family's next. P. Attached, a photo of Rosa at the diner, mid-shift, oblivious. Terror clawed up his spine. Victor wasn't bluffing. He was escalating. Alex dialed Ethan, voice urgent. We go public. Now. Assembly tomorrow, full expose. On the other end, Ethan's reply was steel wrapped in warmth. I've got you. We're in this. That night, in the apartment's dim kitchen, Rosa stirred pozole, her hands steady despite the worry lines etched deeper. Mijo, whatever this is, you face it with head high, like your abuelita taught. Alex hugged her, the scent of cilantro a shield against the storm. But alone in his room, staring at the ceiling cracks like fault lines, doubt crept in. Could he topple Victor without shattering everything? And Ethan, that touch at lunch, the shared glances, was it alliance, or the dangerous bloom of something more fragile as fog? Little did he know, the assembly would crack the facade wide open, but not before a betrayal from Mia's past twisted the knife, forcing Alex to question every bond he'd forged. Assembly day dawned brittle and bright, winter sun slicing through the gym's high windows like spotlights on a stage set for tragedy. Alex arrived early, the space echoing with the squeak of folding chairs and the murmur of setup crew. His speech notes burned in his pocket, revised till dawn, not defense, but defiance, a call to arms against the shadows puppeteering their school. Ethan had delivered the final hack overnight, a live demo script, ready to project the ghost account's full ledger on the main screen. Timing's everything. They'd texted, adding a heart emoji that lingered in Alex's mind like a question mark. Miah was a whirlwind, corralling club members into a phalanx of supporters at the front rows, rainbow flags draped discreetly over seats. We've got 300 now, she reported, eyes sparkling with that unyielding optimism. Even some straights signing on, says it all. Alex managed a grin, but unease gnawed. Victor's threat echoed, Rosa's safety a live wire. He'd begged her to call out sick. She'd refused, stubborn as ever. Go win, Mijo. I'll be fine. The gym filled fast, a sea of hoodies and backpacks, the air thick with anticipation and undercurrents of hostility. Jordan slipped in beside Alex backstage, his presence a tentative olive branch. I turned over my phone to Hargrove. Full transparency. And I told my dad everything. He didn't know about the threats. His voice cracked on the last, vulnerability raw. Alex nodded, the grudge softening to something like pity. Good. But if you flake again, Jordan met his gaze. I won't. This ends today. A beat, then quieter. You're braver than me, Alex. Always were. Principal Hargrove took the mic as the clock hit 9, her voice amplified and strained. Students, we've gathered to address recent events. The video circulating was unauthorized and harmful. Roosevelt High stands for inclusivity. Boos rippled from the bleachers, a pocket of red Letterman jackets led by Langford's gym class cronies. She pressed on, announcing the election pause, then gesturing to Alex. But Mr. Rivera has requested time to speak. Alex. The walk to center stage felt eternal, spotlights hot on his skin, 200 pairs of eyes pinning him like specimens. He gripped the podium, heart thundering, and launched in. You all saw the video. Yeah, it's me. Kissing a guy I cared about, under stars that didn't judge. And someone, cowards hiding behind screens, thought that made me unworthy to lead. Murmurs swelled, but he pushed through, voice rising. They timed it to break me, to remind me I'm other. But here's the truth. I'm Alex Rivera, son of a diner waitress who crossed borders for a better life, brother to a club that fights for every voice silenced. And today, we fight back. He nodded to Ethan in the booth, their thumbs up a spark. The screen flickered, not the damning loop, but a cascade of code, timelines, messages unspooling like a digital autopsy. Gasps echoed as Victor's name flashed, tied to Patriot Watch funds. Langford's emails exposed in stark black and white. This isn't random, Alex continued, fury lending fire. It's a machine, grinding down anyone who dares be real. My cousin, a faculty advisor, they thought they could bury us. But look closer. The final slide, the diner photo, time-stamped yesterday, Victor's rental car plate blurred in the background. Chaos erupted. Shouts from the back, chairs scraping as Langford bolted for the exit, Hargrove's aides in pursuit. Victor, seated mid-rows, face ashen, stood frozen, then shoved through the crowd toward the stage. You little shit, he hissed under the din, close enough for Alex to smell his cologne, sharp as deceit. Family sticks together. You just torched us all. Alex held ground, Mike live. Family doesn't sabotage. It protects. Victor lunged, fist raised, not to strike, but to snatch the remote from the podium. Jordan intercepted, tackling him to the floor in a tangle of limbs, security swarming. In the melee, Alex's eyes sought Ethan, but the booth was empty. Panic flickered. Where? Then, a scream from Miah, sharp and uncharacteristic. She was by the side door, grappling with a figure in a hoodie. Not Victor, but a girl Alex vaguely recognized. Samantha, Mia's ex from sophomore year, the one who'd ghosted after coming out went south. You traitor! Miah yelled, wrenching free. Samantha's hood fell, tears streaking mascara. I had to. Langford promised to bury the restraining order if I fed him dirt on Alex. He knew about the video from Victor, but I planted the deepfake layer. For us, Miah, to start over. The gym hushed, all eyes on the unfolding drama. Mia's face twisted, betrayal's fresh wound. Us? You left me broken, Sam. Said my lifestyle was too much. Samantha sobbed, collapsing against the wall. He twisted it. I was scared, my folks, the church. But seeing Alex fight, it woke me up. Alex stepped off stage, the crowd parting, and knelt beside them. Hate's a chain, Miah. Break it. She looked at him. Then Samantha, the old fire tempered by something softer, forgiving. A nod, tentative. One chance. Earn it. Hargrove seized control, microphones off, announcements of investigations and suspensions. Langford was cuffed outside. Victor hauled away sputtering denials. As the gym emptied, Alex found Ethan in the empty booth, laptop cooling. You okay? They asked, concern etching their features. Alex sank beside them, adrenaline crashing. Yeah, but that twist with Miah. Samantha was the leak. Langford's mole. Ethan's hand found his again, this time lingering. Survivor's guilt. She'll heal. We all will. The air between them hummed, charged with unspoken what-ifs. Alex's pulse quickened, not from the fight, but this proximity, Ethan's quiet strength a balm. They walked out together, autumn leaves crunching underfoot, the school a receding fortress. Election's back on, Ethan said, bumping shoulders. You won, you know, even without votes. Alex laughed, genuine for the first time in days. We won. Could have used that portrait skill for campaign art, though. Ethan's grin turned sly. Maybe next time. Or, off the record, the implication hung, sweet and terrifying, a door cracking open. But home brought the backlash. Rosa called from the diner, voice trembling. Victor's arrest splashed local news. Uncle Manny raging about disloyalty. He says you're ruining the family, Mijo. But I told him, blood don't mean blind. Alex's chest ached. The cost tallied in fractured ties. And as night fell, a final text from Jordan. Proud of you, man. Owe you forever. Attachment, a group chat invite, the club expanding, voices uniting. Yet in the quiet, Alex wondered, with enemies exposed, what shadows lingered in allies' hearts. The real climax brewed not in sabotage, but in the fragile rebuild of trust, where love's first whispers could heal or haunt. Weeks blurred into a tentative thaw, Roosevelt High's halls shedding their venom like molted skin. The election reinstated, Alex's landslide win, fueled by viral counter videos and Mia's petition, crowned him class president, his first decree a zero-tolerance policy on digital harassment, co-drafted with Ethan's tech safeguards. Langford resigned amid scandal, Victor's charges pending, his think tank internship revoked in a PR nightmare. Samantha enrolled in counseling, her tentative reconciliation with Miah a slow dance of apologies and art therapy sessions, sketches of intertwined hands replacing the anger. But victory's afterglow faded fast for Alex. Nights brought insomnia's parade, replays of Victor's snarl, the diner's photo like a ghost in his dreams. Rose's shifts stretched longer, whispers of family rift echoing in tense dinners. He's your blood, she'd say softly, stirring arroz con pollo, her eyes pleading for peace. Alex would nod, but inside, the wound festered. Victor's family first, a mantra masking control, his own queerness the scapegoat for generational grudges. Ethan became his anchor, their alliance evolving in stolen moments. Coffee runs where code talk segued to dreams, Ethan's sketches capturing Alex's quiet intensities, a profile lost in thought by the library stacks, or laughing mid-debate, fire alight. Your poetry in motion. Ethan teased one afternoon, handing over a doodle during study hall. Alex traced the lines, warmth blooming. And you're the muse who sees it. The words slipped out, heavier than intended, hanging between them like a held breath. Ethan's cheeks flushed, hazel eyes searching. Maybe we explore that. After the holiday formal. Alex's heart stuttered. Yes, 1,000 times, but fear whispered caveats. Another bond to break? Jordan, too, sought redemption's path. He joined the LGBTQ club meetings, awkward at first, his jock frame out of place amid the circle of shared stories. I'm bi, okay, he confessed one evening, voice low as rain pattered the window. Hit it, 'cause Dad's world doesn't bend. Helping you? It was selfish, testing waters. Alex clapped his shoulder, the gesture bridging old rifts. Waters rise together. Welcome. Jordan's grin returned, tentative, and in club projects, fundraisers for local shelters, he proved steady, his charisma rallying donations that dwarfed last year's totals. Yet tension simmered beneath the surface. Miah pulled Alex aside after a meeting, her usual spark dimmed. Sam's trying, but old scars. And Victor's lawyer called, wants a family summit. Says it's healing. Alex's stomach nodded. Healing? He tried to destroy me. Miah squeezed his hand. Sometimes, bridges need burning first. But blood's thick. Go if you want backup. Her own vulnerability shone, Samantha's betrayal a mirror to his, yet she'd chosen grace. Alex envied that, even as it inspired. The holiday formal loomed, school's gym transformed into a twinkling wonderland, fairy lights strung like stars, a playlist blending pop anthems with queer icons. Alex stood before his mirror, adjusting a slim black tie over a white shirt, nerves jangling. Rosa had pressed it that morning, her smile proud. You look like a leader, Mijo. Dance like no one's watching. He chuckled, but the invite burned in his pocket. Ethan's scrawled note. Booth by the punch, save a slow one. The gym pulsed with laughter and bass, students shedding winter coats for sequins and sneakers. Alex wove through, greetings exchanged, high fives from club kids, nods from skeptics now converted. Jordan waved from the dance floor, arm around a shy sophomore, his ease a quiet triumph. Miah and Samantha swayed nearby, tentative harmony in their linked hands. Then, Ethan, in a deep green button-down that hugged their frame, curls tamed but rebellious, leaning against the photo booth with 2 cups. President Rivera, they said, handing one over, eyes dancing. Care to corrupt the youth with some spiked cider? Alex laughed, the sound freeing. Only if you lead. They danced, first fast, spinning through the crowd, Ethan's laughter a melody against the thump. Then, as strings swelled in a ballad, the lights dimmed, and Ethan drew closer, hand at Alex's waist. This okay? They murmured, breath warm. Alex nodded, world narrowing to the press of bodies, the steady beat of Ethan's heart sinking with his. In that sway, confessions spilled. Ethan's fear of permanence after their dad's rejection, Alex's dread of loving only to lose. You're worth the risk, Ethan whispered, forehead to his. The kiss was inevitable, soft, tentative, tasting of cider and courage, sealing not just alliance, but the raw edge of love. But joy's peak often precedes the plunge. As they pulled apart, flushed and grinning, Alex's phone vibrated insistently. Unknown number, a voice note, Victor's timbre, slurred with what sounded like bourbon. Summit tomorrow, park by the bridge. No cops, no press. Or Rosa gets the full board, immigration audits, the works. The gym's magic shattered, Alex's hand tightening on Ethan's. He's not done. Ethan's face hardened, protective. Then neither are we. I traced his new burner. It's tied to offshore proxies, but crackable. The next morning, under a slate sky threatening snow, Alex met Victor at the park, the Hudson's wind whipping bare branches. Ethan waited in the car, laptop humming, Miah on speed dial. Victor paced the path, gaunt in a wool coat, the silver ring glinting like accusation. You happy now? Job gone, girlfriend dumped me over the psycho label. All 'cause you couldn't keep your preferences quiet. Alex's temper flared. Preferences? It's who I am. You weaponized hate to protect family? That's not love, Vic, it's poison. Victor's laugh was bitter, hollow. Love? You waltz around with your rainbow parade while Abuela's grave weeps. She raised us Catholic, Alex. This life's a sin. The old catechism, dusted off like a club. But Alex saw the cracks. Victor's trembling hands, the flicker of envy in his eyes. Or maybe you're scared. Of your own shadows. That internship? Hiding behind suits, 'cause you can't face yourself. Victor lunged, not with fists but words, spilling a torrent. Resentment from Alex's easy coming out. The scholarships Victor lost to affirmative action. Myths, the family mantle he craved but choked on. In the standoff's raw heart, Ethan texted, "Got him." Audio feed from the proxy, confession logged. Victor's phone buzzed too, his face draining as he read the leak alert. "You hacked me." Rage twisted to defeat, shoulders slumping. "It's over, isn't it?" Alex stepped closer, not in triumph, but offering. "It can be. Drop the threats. Get help. We're family, flawed, but fixable." Victor stared at the river, tears carving tracks. A nod, broken, for Abuela. As Victor walked away, the first flakes falling like absolution, Alex rejoined Ethan, collapsing into the passenger seat. "It's done." Ethan's hand found his, squeezing. "Proud of you." But in the rear view, a figure watched. Jordan's dad, board member Hale, phone to ear, expression thunderous. The web hadn't fully unraveled. Bigger players lurked, and the next twist would test not just Alex's presidency, but the love he dared to claim. Winter gripped New York like a grudge, snow blanketing Queens in muffled silence. But Roosevelt High thrummed with renewed energy. Alex's presidency kicked off with a bang. A Winter Pride week, panels on allyship drawing record crowds, even skeptics shuffling in with feigned nonchalance. Miah co-chaired, her dynamic with Samantha evolving into something resilient. Late-night study dates laced with tentative kisses, old wounds scarring over. Jordan mentored freshmen, his by flag pin a quiet badge, while Ethan consulted on the school's new cyber safety protocol. Their art club murals now splashed across social feeds. For Alex and Ethan, the formal's kiss had unlocked a gentle courtship. Bundled walks to the subway, hands brushing in movie lines. Ethan's apartment a haven of thrift store lamps and half-finished canvases. "You're my favorite subject," Ethan murmured one evening, charcoal-smudged fingers tracing Alex's jaw before a sketch. Alex leaned in, the intimacy deepening. Conversations till dawn about futures, fears, the ache of chosen families. But shadows lingered. Victor's summit, truce held tenuously, his texts sporadic apologies dissolving into silence. Rosa extended olive branches, holiday cards, a shared tamales night, but the rift ached like a bruise. Then, the counterstrike landed. It started subtly, anonymous flyers in lockers, Rivera, puppet of radicals, with doctored quotes tying Alex to extremist groups. Whispers in the halls, board meetings cited in local blogs. Jordan's dad, Harlan Hale, emerged as the architect, silver-haired, suit-clad, his concerned parent, op-eds decrying indoctrination in schools. At a PDA night, he cornered Alex post-speech, smile oily. "Commendable passion, son. But elections have consequences. My boys told me all about your influence." The implication slithered. Jordan's sexuality, leverage reloaded. Alex reported it, Hargrove's rainbow pin flashing as she vowed action. But doubt seeded. Harlan's board clout could gut funding, stall reforms. Ethan dug digitally, unearthing email chains. Harlan coordinating with Expatriate Watch donors. Victor's name a footnote in the margins. "He's the real enemy." Ethan confirmed over hot cocoa in their nook, steam curling like secrets. Using family fallout to mask a crusade. Alex's resolve hardened, but vulnerability cracked through. "What if it's too big? I just wanted change, not war." Ethan's gaze held him steady. "Wars are won in inches. We expose him, clean, irrefutable." Their plan coalesced, a student-led forum, live-streamed, baiting Harlan into overreach. Miah rallied speakers. Jordan secured neutral moderators. Even Samantha contributed, her insider knowledge of conservative networks or redemption arc rehearsals in the auditorium stretched late, laughter punctuating tension, bonds forging tighter. One night, as snow tapped the roof, Alex pulled Ethan aside. "This us. It's real, right? Not just the fight. Ethan's kiss answered, fierce and affirming. Realer than code, deeper than sketches. The forum packed the cafeteria, folding tables cleared for a debate stage vibe, cameras rolling for the district feed. Harlan arrived fashionably late, flanked by allies, his opening remarks a velvet glove over iron. Unity, not division. We must protect traditional values from agendas that confuse our youth. Alex countered from the dais, voice even. Values like honesty? Or silencing stories that don't fit your mold? The crowd leaned in, murmurs building. Jordan took the mic next, unflinching. As a student here, I've seen both sides. My dad's right, change scares. But hiding? It breaks. I came out because Alex showed me courage isn't solo. Harlan's face tightened, a vein pulsing at his temple. Son, this isn't the time, but Jordan pressed. It is. You threatened Eli's privacy to control me. That's not protection, it's prison. Gasps rippled, the stream chat exploded. Miah followed, weaving Samantha's story into a tapestry of survival. We don't confuse, we clarify. Love isn't agenda, it's air. Harlan interrupted, rising. Enough. This witch hunt ends. I'll have the board dissolve this farce of a presidency. The word which hung, igniting the room. Chants of shame from the back. In the chaos, Ethan signaled from the tech table. A screen glitch. Then Harlan's emails projecting unbidden, redacted no more. Threats to donors. Wait, this mentions Victor? Collusion. Harlan lunged for the power cord, but security, tipped by Hargrove, intervened. As aides escorted him out, bellowing lawsuits, the cafeteria erupted in cheers. Alex stood amid it, Ethan's hand slipping into his under the table, an anchor in the tide. But victory soured fast. Post-forum, Jordan vanished. Texts unanswered, his locker empty. Panic clawed Alex. Harlan's parting glare promised retaliation. They found him at the pier, the same fog-shrouded spot from that fateful night. Jordan sat on the bench, knees drawn, staring at waves like old foes. He disowned me, he said flatly as they approached, Ethan hanging back to guard. Said I'm no son of his. Eli's with mom now, court stuff pending. Alex sat, shoulder to shoulder. We'll fight it. Club lawyers, Mia's network. Jordan's laugh was watery. Fight? I'm done fighting. Maybe transfer, start fresh. The defeat in his eyes gutted Alex. Another casualty, the cost of leading. Ethan joined then, quiet offering, a USB drive. Backups of everything. For when you're ready. Jordan pocketed it, nodding. Thanks. For seeing me. A hug, brief but binding, and he walked into the mist, leaving echoes. Back home, Alex unraveled in Ethan's arms, the apartment a cocoon of low light and shared silence. I can't save everyone, he whispered, tears hot. Ethan held tighter. You don't have to. You save by showing up. Their love deepened there, invulnerabilities forge, not grand gestures, but the steady choice to stay. Yet dawn brought Harlan's countermove, a lawsuit against the school, naming Alex as defendant. The real enemy's reach extended, pulling in not just politics, but the tender threads of their circle, forcing a final stand where personal stakes collided with public fire. Spring teased queens with reluctant blooms, cherry blossoms fighting concrete like quiet rebellions, mirroring the standoff at Roosevelt. Harlan Hale's lawsuit hit like a spring storm. Defamation claims, demands for Alex's resignation, injunctions freezing club funds. News trucks parked curbside, reporters hounding students for the other side. Hargrove fortified the admin office, but cracks showed. Board allies of Harlan stalling support, whispers of budget cuts rippling through faculty lounges. Alex's days fractured, mornings in strategy huddles with lawyers from the ACLU, afternoons fielding parent calls, evenings collapsed in Ethan's lap, exhaustion a constant companion. He's breaking us, Alex muttered one night. Ethan's fingers combing his hair as rain lashed the window. Ethan kissed his temple. Not us. Him. I've got a digital trail, offshore accounts, donor logs tying Harlan to hate groups. Leak it right, and he crumbles. But legality loomed. One misstep, and countersuits could bankrupt Rosa. Mia's network mobilized, petitions to the district, op-eds in the Village Voice, even a GoFundMe surging past goals. Samantha, proving her mettle, dug into Harlan's church ties. unearthing sermons laced with coded bigotry. Jordan, from his aunts in Brooklyn, contributed remotely. Insider voicemails from Eli, Harlan's rants recorded in fury. Use M, Jordan texted. For the kid who needs his big bro back. The fragments wove a noose, but tightening it meant risking more. Victor, summoned as witness, teetered on relapse, his rehab fragile. The family summit Rosa insisted on became a powder keg. In a nondescript conference room downtown, under fluorescent hum, Uncle Manny presided, jowls quivering with mediation bluster. Victor slouched opposite, eyes downcast, the ring absent from his finger, a small surrender. This lawsuit's madness, Harlan, Manny boomed. The board chair himself attending via proxy call. Harlan, impeccable in pinstripes, steepled fingers. Justice, Manny. The boy's agenda poisoned my family. His gaze skewered Alex. Admit it. Your club recruited Jordan. Alex's retort was ice. Recruited? We offered space. You built walls. Rosa, silent till then, leaned forward, her diner apron traded for resolve. Enough, Harlan. I crossed deserts for my son's truth. You threaten that? You're no uncle. The room stilled. Victor shifted, voice cracking. She's right. I fed you dirt. Harlan, thought it made me strong. But it hollowed me. Harlan's facade slipped, a flush creeping. You were useful, boy. Now, expendable. Ethan, waiting outside with files, slipped in at Alex's text. The offshore ledger, projected on Manny's laptop. Gasps as numbers scrolled. Millions funneled through shells. Harlan's signature digital and damning. This ends your crusade. Ethan said softly, their presence a calm amid the storm. Harlan surged up, chair toppling. Blackmail. But Manny's gavel, metaphorical but firm, halted him. Sit. Or face the feds. Harlan deflated. The Titan toppled, agreeing to drop the suit for immunity on the laundering probe. Outside, air crisp with impending rain, Victor pulled Alex aside. I was wrong. About everything. Can we try? Alex searched his cousin's face, seeing not the saboteur, but the scared kid from backyard soccer days. Slow. But yeah. A hug. Awkward. Healing. Rosa beamed, tears glistening. Mi familia. The lawsuit's collapse cascaded. Harlan resigned from the board, his empire audited into oblivion. Roosevelt's reforms accelerated. Mandatory ally training. Expanded mental health resources, a pride flag permanent in the Quad. Alex's presidency peaked in a spring assembly, his speech a valediction of sorts. We didn't just survive sabotage, we subverted it. Love, messy, defiant, wins when we choose it. Post-graduation haze settled, caps tossed under June's sun, futures beckoning. Jordan recommitted locally, club co-president with Miah, his bond with Eli mending over video calls. Samantha and Miah planned a road trip, horizons wide. Victor enrolled in therapy, sporadic check-ins warming to weekly coffees. For Alex and Ethan, commencement marked a pivot. Alex to Columbia on scholarship, Ethan to Pratt Institute, blocks apart, but worlds entwined. Their last high school night, on the pier, full circle, the waves sang approval. Scared, Alex asked, Ethan's head on his shoulder. Terrified. But with you? Ready. The kiss was deeper now, seasoned by trials, a promise etched in starlight. Yet in the quiet after, as city lights twinkled like allies, Alex's phone lit. An anonymous text. Not over. Watch your back. True patriot. A chill, echo of old ghosts. Or new. The real enemy revealed, but shadows multiply. In love's light, they'd face them, unbreakable.